Hey everybody, welcome back. It's time to get our draft on before free agency just makes all hell break loose and go crazy, and everything changes because that's what happens in the NFL offseason. And we're now officially post combine. If you already caught the video on combine winners and losers, you already know maybe whose ADP you should expect to go a little bit up or a little bit down, or in some cases, a lot, way too much. All right, so we're gonna do as we do draft live best ball on Underdog. You guys are watching and you know what this is about. Get out your apps, open Underdog, and we're gonna do a big board today. This is a best ball tournament pre-draft. We still don't know what's gonna happen, but we have some good ideas. We've been talking about them. We've been checking out the videos. So, all right, Chris, let's do it. You ready?
Let's do it. I'm ready.
Big board, live draft. Make sure you get that 30 seconds per pick on. As much as I love the slow drafts, I don't think we have time to stream that. So here we go. Let's enter.
Actually,
Big
hold
board.
on. Huh? Hold on. I'm gonna do it on my phone. Actually, I feel like there's less
lag.
Yeah, less lag. Okay, I'm ready.
Okay. Here we go. You guys are watching. You can jump in with us. We can draft together. Big board. And 3, 2, 1, go.
So it's 3 more to start.
Yeah, it's almost full. All right, end game. Let's fill it up. All right. So while we wait, shouldn't take too long. We're almost in there. You did talk a little bit about the combine, and of course, a lot of us follow it. Actually, I didn't watch it live, any of it, but of course, I saw the little stats 40 times and all that stuff. Quick impressions, and of course, everyone should be watching the video. But what would you think overall? Was it kind of what you expected?
I mean, pretty much. I mean, the running backs certainly look good. A lot of them look good, put up good numbers, tested well as we expected. I was impressed. I think probably the guy that I talked about him on the video, the guy I'm most impressed with, that I'm very curious to see where he lands, where he gets drafted, Matthew Golden. I thought he had a really good combine. I know he was kind of getting some pre-combine buzz anyways. I think he's going to get even more buzz now. I think we could see him potentially be a day 2 pick, like maybe round 3. So he's one I'm definitely interested in. And I think Brady Cook is the other one, because we kind of, a lot of people talking about this QB class like, oh, Shader Sanders, Cam Ward, and everybody else. But I think Brady Cook might have separated himself from the rest of the pack. I could see him being the 3rd QB taken in the draft.
Yeah, I think, this happens no matter the draft class, but this, of course, is not necessarily going to be one of the better QB classes. But every year, don't you feel like there's a quarterback that people, or at least people, are trying to find a quarterback that to make him like a potential franchise guy? Like we have to find somebody else, right? We don't have enough quarterbacks. Like, oh, maybe it's this guy. Maybe it's that. Remember a couple years ago, Malik Willis, all of a sudden out of nowhere, like, you know what? There's some buzz. Like he could be number 1 overall. Like this guy has it. We've been sleeping on him. That didn't pan out. But you know what I mean? Like every year there's some quarterback that all of a sudden has to get hyped up. And I feel like it was Jackson Dart for a while, and maybe he still gets hyped up. Who knows? But you think now the Cook's more like one of those sleepers who nobody's talking enough about?
Yeah, I think so. He's athletic, so we know he has the rushing ability. He's got an arm. He's just doesn't make the best decisions in the pocket, which can certainly go either way, right? It could go the way of like complete disaster, bust. But I think if he lands in a good spot, like let's say he lands with Pete Carroll and the Raiders, or with Kellen Moore and the Saints. I think we could see. I think we could see him. I kind of compared him to Bo Nix. Not that they're the same, like similar prospects, but how Bo Nix, was viable in fantasy last year because he fell in a good situation with Sean Payton. I could see him being that kind of player for fantasy this year if he lands in a good spot. If he lands somewhere terrible, like, I don't know, I don't know where a bad spot would be for him off the top of my head, but a team that needs a quarterback but doesn't have a lot of pieces around them and doesn't have good coaching around them, yeah, it might be a disaster.
Yeah, I mean, landing spot. We always say running back, it matters so much, but it definitely has to matter for quarterback too, right? If he has any support, if he has the right coaching. So, do you feel like now at this point in a draft like this, if you're doing a 3 quarterback build, is he a dart throw in the last round as your third QB, or is that too soon, too much?
I think if you're doing a 3 QB build and you're looking for a dart throw at the end, for sure take some shots on him. Because again, think about like Bo Nix last year. He was a guy that maybe when he was drafted by Denver, he started to get drafted as like a very, very late pick. But in these the pre-draft best ball drafts, nobody was really taking Bo Nix because it was all about Caleb Williams, Jaden Daniels, maybe Drake May, right? They were getting all the hype before the NFL draft. So yeah, I think he's worth it if you're going a 3 QB build and you're waiting a long time for your QB3.
Yeah, that's the fun about the pre-draft drafts like this. You never know, all right? You could get that lotto ticket. You don't know those late round picks. So, by the way, starting off here, what's up to everybody joining in? Yes. Clayton, see you here. Glad to hear the good news.
Yep, that's awesome. Good to hear that, Clayton.
Yeah, definitely. Justin, good evening. How's it going? And then a couple comments here and get to from the roll, but let me pick now because I'm up again. And actually, one of them is about Derrick Henry. I'm at the 7. You are at the 2. You keep getting the 2 now. You can't stop getting the 2.
I know it's been. I think every draft I've either had the 2 or the 1. It feels like.
It's funny how it happens. I'll go AJB. What do you think about this? All right, so let's just throw it out here. So the roll. I'm actually a pretty big Ollie Gordon fan. I think he's getting slept on. I don't know if he'll go around 3, but what do you think, Ollie Gordon?
Yeah, I don't know about round 3 either because again, I mean. And it's such a good class, but
right.
I could see him being a Patriot, that's for sure, but I don't know about round 3.
Yeah. He didn't have a good enough 2024 season to surpass those other running backs who also have athleticism.
Oh man, I don't like this spot at all. You know what? Let's just try something. Let's go RB.
Why not? It's the time. I'll tell you.
Although I'm not going to like this spot either. Although, you know what? I'm fine taking Jackson's JSN here, especially after DK Metcalf gets traded. I think you kind of cut out there for a little bit.
Oh, yeah. I'm back. Well, yeah, DK Metcalf, and we're going to talk about him. We did talk about him. You're going to see a video talking about him soon, but Tyler Lockett is gone, or he's going to be gone. And DK Metcalf might be gone. I mean, is JSN now going to move up? Is he worth a second-round pick?
I think so. I think he has to be. I mean, he was great at the end of last year. He was the wide receiver 1. Like, who would they have to really go out and get? Like, who's even available that they could really get that would make you like worry about JSN at this point?
Well, that's the weird thing. All right, hold on. I've already gotten. I feel like I keep getting either Cook or Kyron in round 3. I'm going to change it up. I'm going to try, I don't know, maybe 0 RB.
There you go. I mean, Cook and Kyron and Mike Evans going around 3. I don't like why.
Yeah. That's the weird thing is we knew Lockett was going to be gone, and we now hearing DK one's out. Okay, but we haven't heard anything about the Seahawks wanting to replace him with his player, what their plans are at receiver other than JSN. You know what I mean? So, and part of the reason why they got rid of Grubb, their OC from last year, is because he got away from the run, right? It's too pass happy. So maybe they aren't going to have too many other high profile targets there. That's why
I mean, they might not. It could be like a Chargers Lad McConkey situation where he's all they got. He's all they got.
Yep, that could be it. We'll see. Yeah, I just want to real quick. This is the laziest comp ever, but it really is accurate. Ollie Gordon just reminds me of Chuba Hubbard, not just because they both obviously went to the same college, but amazing season followed up by a disappointing final season in college. But it's still there, right? The talent's still there, the athleticism. I don't know what it is with OK State, but he could be like a sneaky late round value guy who could have been a second, third round pick, falls to fourth or fifth, but then winds up being productive anyways. So,
man, James Cook in the fourth. That's nice. That's nice.
Yeah. Oh, here we go. Well, you know what? Don't typically go QB early, but I do have AJ Brown going 0 RB, and let's take Hurts.
Yeah, I like that pick. I've been saying, like, when you get to this spot, I mean, Devonta Smith, Jalen Williams, Ted McMillan, Joe Mixon, Chuba Hubbard, DK Metcalf, Rashee Rice, Devontae Adams. Like, these guys are okay.
Yeah.
Right? They're okay. I'd rather just take the guy who can be the QB1 on any given week.
All right. Now, real talk. If Jalen Hurts and the whatever you want to call it, the tush push, the brotherly shove, if it gets outlawed, how far down do we drop Jalen Hurts?
I mean, he can score without the tush push. He can still score touchdowns without the tush push. I'm not worried about it.
Yeah. I don't think it'll happen, but that would definitely, I mean, his value, I think, should still take some of a hit. All right, you're up.
Yeah, again, don't like these choices. Boy, I guess Omarion Hampton definitely getting a combine bump. Now he's a round 4 pick.
Wow. That's okay. I mean, look, who am I to judge this team? I don't know if they're going hyper fragile or if they're just a little too high in running backs. They have 4 running backs and nothing else. Is the RB4. It's a bold strategy.
Very bold. Very bold. See what they do here. I mean, they have a shield, which means they're doing a lot of drafts, although their name is retired.
Retired from what?
Hopefully not retired from drafting, from this draft.
Yeah. I mean, I've gone hyper fragile before, and that would be a way to do it, but let's see. Let's see what happens here. Okay.
All right, there they go. Cortland Sutton.
So it's a plan. This is not an auto drafter. That's good to know. Okay, what do you always say? If I'm gonna go ZRB, you have to fully commit, right? Yeah. I'm in too deep.
Rashee Rice, interesting. Not worried about him coming off the injury?
No, I think he'll be okay. I mean, it's been long enough. I think he'll be fine. I wouldn't pick him earlier than that. I got him past ADP. I'm not taking him in round 4, round 5 as my 4th receiver. Yeah.
It's interesting though when you look at this because pre-combine, so just last week when we did this draft, Omarion Hampton, Travion Henderson, and Caleb Johnson were all kind of going around the same spot. I think in like the 6th round.
Yeah.
Like they're all within like 5 picks of each other. Now we see Hampton has gone up a full 2 round, Henderson up a round, and Caleb Johnson kind of sitting where he was last week. But Quinshawn Judkins right there with him now. So it's interesting to see just how much the combine has already changed the rankings here.
Already happens. Now, actually, I'm surprised right there. Debo, 62. I figured he would get a bump.
Yeah, I would thought he would get a bump too.
I saw someone posted some draft they did on Underdog. Somebody took Debo in like at the end of round 2 or something, like picked like 22 overall. I was like, okay, yeah, we're getting a little over.
That's a little too much.
Just a little. Man, okay, Judkins.
Yeah, so now we're seeing Judkins over Caleb Johnson. So we've definitely seen the combine effect here. And I'm very interested to see where like somebody like Bashal Tutin gets drafted now, because I don't even think he was being drafted before.
Yeah, no, that's true. I mean,
oh, you were definitely going full 0 RB. All right.
Yeah, I feel like these running backs that are here aren't much different than the running backs that'll be available next round. So
I mean, look, if they do trade Ayuk, Juwan Jennings is going to get a big bump for sure.
yeah, that's and look, I'm not to overreact either to Debo getting traded. But already this is good news for Jennings. I feel like I probably, now that I think about it and I look at the ADP, I probably could have just waited for Pearsall next round, right?
Yeah, but I mean, there's nothing wrong with Jennings.
No, it's fine.
So Ben is saying Bashal goes in round 13 now. All right, on the clock here. Oh, man, again, just a spot. Just an ugly spot.
Yeah, which what is up? Stinger is in the house. How's it going, Stinger?
Yeah, I don't love Luther Burden, but let's go with the rookie here. What's up, Stinger?
Yeah, well, if anybody knows San Francisco wideouts, it's Clayton. He's been anti-Debo for a while.
So I do like McMillan here, but I pretty much take him every draft. I don't know. I feel like this is too low for Jaden Reed.
You see the value, you got to pounce.
Yeah, I feel like he still has that weekly spike week upside that we're looking for in these drafts.
So speaking of Burden, a lot of people are saying he's like Debo 2.0. You think that's fair?
Yeah, it's probably. I guess it's probably fair. He's not. I don't know I don't think I'm as high on Burden as a lot of people, but yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Well, like he definitely feels like one of those guys. Like I feel like this about a lot of the wide receivers with this draft class. Like they really have to end up in good spots.
Yeah, I feel like almost out of any receiver, or at least the ones in consideration for the first 3-4 rounds, he's probably the most team dependent for his value. And it does worry me, when you see these stats as far as like the players who, have so much of their target share at or behind the line of scrimmage. I mean, yeah, that's something that might not translate. So that kind of worries you, but
yep.
If he's used the right way in an offense, then it's not necessarily a bad thing.
That's the problem, though, with a wide receiver like that. We've said that about a lot of guys over the years. If he's used the right way in an offense.
Right. Well, that's true.
The flip side is if he's not, which oftentimes they're not, because, if you have a team that's that's very wide receiver needy, like let's say the Patriots take him with the goal of him being their number one alpha wide receiver, and they just constantly throw him on the outside on the line of scrimmage, he's not gonna succeed. He's not gonna succeed. So that's the issue here, right? It's like Traylon Burks. You know, he was a guy that, like, yeah, man, if they put him in the slot, he could be a monster, but they didn't. Terrace Marshall, yeah, but they didn't, right? They don't, and it's like, and these guys don't pan out. So yeah, if he goes with a team that utilizes his strengths, certainly, but there's risk that he doesn't, and then he's a bust. But got to take those risks sometimes, I guess.
Yeah, that's what makes it super risky right now, not knowing the draft spot. So better to take those chances later on. But I mean, yeah, I'm not out on Burden overall. I think I do like him a fair bit. Okay, it's running back time. I'm okay with Pollard here.
Yeah, I feel like Pollard's a nice value in these drafts.
Which, by the way, also Ben saying he hopes that UD drops another pre-draft $10 cheaper. Well, they do still have the little board, right?
Yeah, but I think he said he already maxed them out.
Okay.
So Ben is obviously a fiend. Ben is a fiend because I think he already said he maxed out the big board and the little board.
So we need more tournaments. Yeah, I don't know if they're going to do another, because the little board itself isn't close to being maxed out.
Yeah, they probably won't, because I mean, the draft is? I mean, it's like 6 weeks away or something like that.
Yeah.
So it depends. No, don't go on autopilot. What are you doing? I don't want to take Cup here. I don't want to take Jonnu. No point in taking Kate. Oh, man, all right, you know what? Let's gamble on Cup. Let's gamble on Cup here.
Yeah, at this stage, why not? Blue wants to know, is Tracy worth a 2-2?
I don't think so. I think I would rather have the 2-2 this year, assuming it's super flex, of course. Tracy is one of those running backs I don't like to bet on in the offseason, because I just feel like he's very replaceable.
Exactly. That's exactly right. I don't think there's even a guarantee going into this season he's automatically the RB1. They're going to add competition, I think, at some point, somehow. He's not the kind of guy. I think he could be like a workhorse. I mean, he's capable of it, but I don't think they want him to be. So, yeah, I would rather have the 2-2.
Yeah, I think there's. I mean, if we're talking super flex, you know, Shader and Cam Ward are going to be first round picks somewhere. You know, Ashton Genty is probably going to be the 101 in all formats.
Right.
And you got to think at least you're going to have at least 4 or 5 running backs in the first round. So now we're already talking about 7 guys. There's probably going to be a tight end or 2. There will still be some wide receivers that go in the first round. There may even be another quarterback. There may even be more than 4 or 5 running backs. I mean, yeah, I think there's still going to be very good players on the board at the 202 that I'd rather just take.
Agree. Let's see. He hasn't been taken yet, I don't think, but he's coming up. Thoughts on Tyler Warren?
I think he's going to be way overdrafted this year because of Brock Bowers. I think Tyler Warren is a good prospect. He's no Brock Bowers as a prospect. But because of what we just saw with Brock Bowers, people are going to be way too high on him. Like, I would rather just wait and take Colston Loveland. Like, he goes like 4 rounds after Tyler Warren.
And you know what? I was wrong. I just noticed he was already taken here. He got taken before Travis Kelce, Oh, okay. Before Jonnu Smith, he's already off the board before pick 100. Actually, pick where is it? 92.
If I'm not mistaken, in most drafts, like, so what, he went as the tight end 8 in this draft, right? If I'm reading that right.
Looks like it.
Tight end 8. If I'm not mistaken, last year Brock Bowers was being drafted as the tight end 9.
Yeah.
So we're drafting Tyler Warren, higher than we were drafting Brock Bowers last year. And Brock Bowers, was one of those like generational tight end prospects. Tyler Warren is a good prospect. Like, I'm not knocking Tyler Warren. Tyler Warren is a good prospect, but I don't think I know he's not Brock Bowers level.
No.
Like, we were talking about Brock Bowers 2 years before he was, eligible to be drafted. We were talking about how good Brock Bowers was going to be.
The rookie hype.
I was really hoping Jordan Love would make it back to me.
Yeah, I'm starting to really hope that Travis Etienne either gets traded or cut or something, because I got way too much Tank Bigsby in these drafts. All right, man, you got 7 receivers already.
Yeah, I went RB and then kind of paused on running back for a bit. I really kind of need tight end and QB now. Yeah, I really wish Jordan Love had fallen to me. I don't know why that guy took Jordan Love. But I have noticed people in these drafts, they pay no mind to stacking in these pre NFL drafts. It doesn't seem like they just grab whoever at QB.
Yeah, he didn't have any reason to take Jordan Love. He just thought he was good value, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. Which he was. He was good value. I mean, I really don't want to take Swift here. I don't understand why Swift's being drafted here. The problem with my wide receivers is I really don't have any good stacks. I mean, I guess I could get Geno as a QB2 somewhere.
I'm sure Derek Carr's still out there.
If Derek Carr, I really hope Derek Carr is not the QB of the Saints.
It sounded like he is, right? Didn't they say something like, "Oh, they're okay moving forward with him," or something like that?
Yeah, they say that now.
Wait till Kellen Moore has to watch him in person.
Exactly. Because, I mean, my wide receivers are JSN. Okay, that's Geno. Jameson, but Goff's already been drafted. Olave, I really don't want to take Carr. Burden, we don't know. Jaden Reed, Love's already gone. Cup, we don't know. Pittman, I mean, am I really going to take Anthony Richardson?
I doubt.
So, I don't really have any stackable wide receivers. So we'll just do a 3 QB build. We'll try to get Geno. I do think CJ Stroud's being way too undervalued now.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's gone too far the other way. Man, I was all ready to get Dak as my backup and go with CD, and then somebody took him.
That would have been nice. That would have been nice. I'm going to have to start hitting some running backs here pretty hard. But I do feel like there's a lot of good late round value on running backs this year. Well, there always are.
That's the problem with all these good rookie running backs coming in is going to throw everything off with all the existing running backs. You don't know who's going to still be relevant next year.
Yeah, that's why I just can't draft a guy like Swift right there. Like, what if the Bears take one of these running backs? He's irrelevant.
Yep. What's up, Daniel? Always joining the drafts. Apparently, I sniped him on Bigsby. I'll probably do that every single draft because I'm drafting Bigsby every single draft. Thank you, Ben. By the way, yeah, we've been on Underdog for last 2 years. Is that what it's been? 2 years almost.
Yeah, last year was year 2. Although technically we were on Underdog way back in the day, but we did not do a good job promoting them.
Oh, crap, on the clock. All right, here's hoping the Cowboys still don't draft a running back and they just take Rico back.
Rico is interesting. Isn't he a free agent?
Yeah. They say supposedly Cowboys want to re-sign him. Copy paste, saying the Bears definitely taking a rookie running back. I mean, that would make sense. They're making moves, which is good to see. I mean, you're going to hire a new coach and develop your number 1 quarterback, but you saw they're stacking that offensive line, which, I mean, thank God.
Which is good, which they have to do. Oh, man. What's going on with Evan Ingram?
Who knows? I mean, he's still there for now.
Yeah, I'm going to go Ferguson here. Pitts is interesting in this spot, but, man, I don't know if I can ever take Pitts again.
Sorry, I'm not talking myself into it.
Yeah, I like what the Bears are doing. I like bolstering the offensive line through free agency, so you can focus on other positions or even focus more on the offensive line in the draft if you want. I like that. All right, Trey Benson, Rashad White. I think Trey Benson has more upside if something should happen to Connor. Let's go Benson. Are you related to the philosopher Camus?
I wish. I wish. You said it's your favorite? Well, he's actually my favorite too. I'm looking at my books. I think I moved those books somewhere else, but yeah. Nah, I wish I'd get royalties coming in. But it's a good question. It's a fair question. What do you mean your favorite right now? Is that like you have like every week you have a different favorite philosopher?
Maybe, hey, maybe your philosophies change. Over time, your philosophies change.
Well, as they should, right? It should be fluid and flexible.
For sure.
Nope. No relation, unfortunately. I will say this, since we're getting late in the draft, it's funny because, again, no relation, but my dad always got a kick out of the fact that there's a cognac brand that's made in France, and it's called Camus, the exact same spelling, same name. And so he collects them because he just loves the fact that there's a really big bottle with a label and it has his last name on it. And so we have all these Camus cognacs, even though there's no relation at all. And so one time he actually went and visited it in person, and they were like, "Oh yeah, come on in." Like, again, zero relation, just the last name happened to be the same. But he had like the best time, and he in his office everywhere. He has the bottles. So
he does have the bottles.
Oh yeah, he got plenty of bottles. It's pretty good too. I mean, if you like cognac. Okay, let's see. How much confidence should I have in JJ McCarthy possibly as my QB2?
I think you should have pretty good confidence. I think he's gonna. I think he might be the day one starter.
I mean, it sounds like Donald's out of there. I got TJ Hawkinson, so it's a different kind of stack. I can't really stack any of my other receivers because those quarterbacks are all gone. So, I mean, look, if I got Jalen Hurts that early, I'm assuming he's playing. He's my starting QB in best ball every week except for a bye, right? So, let's do it.
Man, where are all the QBs?
Well, Darnold's still out there.
Yeah, so much for getting Geno Smith for the stack.
I'm still somewhat, I don't know why, kind of surprised Matt Stafford just kind of gets ignored. He's way down there.
Well, I was gonna say I do have Cooper Kupp, but that's not a stack anymore, apparently.
Well,
but I
not
agree.
anymore.
I don't understand why Stafford just gets overlooked. I mean, yeah, he's not the most consistent, but you don't need him to be the most consistent in this format. He's got that upside.
Exactly. No, the days are over him being your starting quarterback in fantasy, just a regular redraft league. But in best ball, I mean, he'll get you those spike weeks, and he's your backup. Oh, going with Ollie. I see.
And then why is there such a huge gap between Cam Ward and Shader Sanders?
You know, that's one thing they say because neither of them threw right the combine. They didn't do anything, but teams, it's the rumor, right? It gets put out there. The teams are cooling on Sanders, like he's not going to be a top 5 pick, maybe not even a first half of the first round pick.
What? They don't what? What? Who's saying that?
What?
He's not going to be a top 5 pick?
Well, yeah, Sanders? You're talking about Sanders? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they're saying. Teams are cooling on him and they don't want to deal with Dion. they're worried he takes so many sacks and his decision making, blah blah blah.
I don't know.
You don't know if it's true, but
there's too many QB needy teams.
Exactly. There just needs to be one team that's willing to say he can do it for us. You know, he has the upside. We need a quarterback.
I mean, if the Titans take Cam Ward, I think it's almost a lock that Sanders goes to the Browns or the Giants. He goes to one of those teams.
Well, I think we're like, you know, we don't always have the same projections and stuff, but I think we kind of see the very beginning of the top of the draft playing out pretty similarly, right? We see the Giants making a move. Maybe the Titans don't get a quarterback. I could see Cam Ward in Cleveland and Sanders with the Giants. Or if the Giants trade up for one, maybe they take Cam Ward. Who knows?
Whose name am I saying wrong? Sanders?
Shedeur? Isn't that it? Shedeur?
Shedeur, is that how you say it? Shedeur?
I think so.
All right.
You know what's going to happen, right? If he has a bad rookie season or maybe just a bad first few games, his nickname is going to be not ready for prime time.
Oh, yeah. Or if he, like, his first Sunday Night Football game, he throws 4 interceptions.
I'm not sold on Sanders. I mean, I'm I'm with you. I saw a stat the other day. Highest sack rates in college and top 10 all time. And basically the whole list was busts, right? It was like Christian Hackenberg. Who was it? Malik Willis. Um, Caleb Williams was on there, which is a little concerning because how many sacks he took last year. I mean, we'll see. And then Sanders was up there also. So I don't know. Okay, I really need more running backs for my 0 running back team.
I need QBs and running backs.
Oh, you only have one QB. It's not a good time to be needing QBs. Looks like Sanders is yours.
I mean, Derek Carr is still out there.
Derek Carr is waiting.
I mean, Russ
waiting
is still out there.
All right. So my go-to. Oh, man, I got sniped on Restrepo.
Wow, Brady Cook's already been picked?
No, it can't be. There's no way Cook was taken before Shadur Sanders.
Oh, no, he doesn't even have an ADP.
Yeah.
That's why I don't see him. He doesn't even have an ADP. I was just looking at the list of QBs. I didn't see him. I'm like, what? Because he doesn't have an ADP.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do not want to draft Daniel Jones. I don't care. I'm not doing it. I don't think there's ever been a year I talked myself into Daniel Jones.
Never. Never.
All right, let's do it. Let's gamble. Let's gamble. Shadur?
Yeah. Might as well. I mean, you're not going to get that kind of upside in the other QB that's available here. Yeah, look, Stafford didn't pay off. Ben talked about Stafford, and he didn't have big games last year. Yeah, last year was kind of disappointing, right? Because Cup was supposed to be healthy and Puka there, right? But I mean, they paid up to keep him. They're going to do something. Maybe replacing Cup with a younger receiver is actually going to do him some good. Who knows? Maybe Cup just isn't it anymore.
Yeah. All right, let's go another RB here. It's going to be a very risky RB room. Although I got Bijan Brees at the top.
Yeah, you can take the risk. Wait till you see my RB room. Then you'll feel a lot better. Where are we? 17.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting build for me.
Oh, okay. How many? Wow. I don't have any rookie running backs. Okay, we gotta change that.
What's going on over there?
I've been sleeping.
Wow, is that stat true from Ben? Cup was drafted in the same class as Kenny Golladay, and they are tied for seasons with 1K yards. And both those seasons came with Matthew Stafford, by the way. Even more random.
See, so I gotta wonder. Stafford's the one who made
Cup didn't have. Wow. Oh wait, no, he had 1,000. Oh wait, does Kenny Golladay have 2 1,000-yard seasons? That's actually the most surprising thing of all. No way.
Figured it was just one.
He does. He did it twice. What the heck? That's actually the most surprising of that stat.
That's pretty good. Been dropping the knowledge.
Kenny Golladay. Man, I remember people just talking themselves into Kenny Golladay year after year.
But that's why. I mean, I know it's not quite the same, right? We don't have vintage Stafford, but I feel like whoever else they do have there, whether they draft somebody, which they definitely could, get somebody on the cheap, I'd rather be interested in that guy more so than Cup at ADP, wherever Cup goes.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Gabe
Here's
Davis. Oh, we're doing Gabe Davis again. We're still on the Gabe Davis train.
With the trophy emoji.
Gabe Davis. I mean, I think I said like, because every year I do like the 10 players I'll never draft again. I think Gabe Davis was on there 3 years ago, and I haven't drafted him since, and I haven't regretted it.
Yeah, I don't think he's ever going to leave that list.
Like after that year, he was like a 4th round pick, and he totally busted. I was like, that's it. Never again with Gabe Davis. You know what the irony with Gabe Davis is for me? You probably don't. I don't want to say I was a Gabe Davis truther, but he was one of those guys that I always liked. I sneakily liked coming out of college. I thought, man, if he gets in the right spot, and he went with the Bills with Josh Allen. He was a guy like earlier in his career, like his rookie year, I was kind of like on him. Year 2, I was on him. But then the year after he had that playoff run, like was playoff, it was like that one game against the Chiefs, and he was a 4th round ADP. That was the year I was finally like, nah, this guy is not it. It's not happening. And I've been that way ever since.
Yeah, we all got sucked in by that one playoff game, right? The next year. Yeah. He helped me learn to kind of disregard what happens in the playoffs for fantasy.
All right. I'm not taking Aaron Rodgers, that's for sure. I'm just throwing darts at running back at this point.
Start throwing time, that's for sure.
I do need one more QB though.
Who you got right now?
Shedeur and Stroud.
Yeah, and in a 20 rounder, you're probably better off getting something.
Yeah.
Who's still out there?
I'm gonna take Brady Cook here just for the fun of it.
Oh yeah, I mean you might as well. There you go.
And then we'll finish with one more running back. I've been taking Trevor Etienne on my last pick a lot. He had a pretty good combine. A pretty nice combine.
I mean, kind of has an overall skill set too. Could catch some passes. Ooh.
Yeah.
Retired guy, the hyper fragile team, taking my Malik Washington. All right.
Interesting that he took another running back. It's like sort of hyper fragile. It's like hyper fragile, but a little fragile.
Yeah. Semi fragile. Okay. Guy, I don't know why I can't quit.
Yeah, I have a hard time pulling the trigger on Marshawn Lloyd. I feel like I probably should pull the trigger, but I have a hard time doing it for some reason.
Yeah, like maybe this will be the year Josh Jacobs gets hurt.
But even then, it's like, how often do we see a player have like a completely lost year 1 and then ever be really productive?
Yeah, well, that's the thing, dude. It was like the first day of training camp or something. He was hurt, and then he got sick, and then he got hurt again. So, I know.
Yeah, well, there goes my Trevor Etienne. Should I just take Kareem Hunt? Just feels like Kareem Hunt is inevitable every year. They'll somehow at the end, they'll somehow finish the season as a starting running back somewhere, putting up decent fantasy games.
Look, I mean, based on what else is on the board here, go for it.
I would have taken Etienne's brother, but he got taken. I kind of feel like when you look at like the Zach Mosses, the Devin Singletaries, there's somebody being way too undervalued right now.
Yeah, we just don't know who it is.
Like there's somebody in that group who's going to be fantasy relevant. How big is Jadon Blue? He's like 150 pounds.
I don't even know. Okay.
196 at 6 foot.
Yeah, it's about average size. Ooh, Boutte. Okay, I don't have a rookie receiver.
I like Boutte as a late round wide receiver. I need running back here, though.
That's funny. Is Marshawn Lloyd this generation's Kendre Miller? I got them both. Got them both on my team. So there you go.
Oh, Kendre.
My team, my squad my running back room at least will lead the league in IR stints.
All right, let's just take LaQuint Allen here. Final running back. Need Brees and Bijan to carry this team.
I mean, once you hit your wagon to that, you might as well carry through with it, right? What's the point of drafting a third, fourth running back early if you already cut those two guys in the first two picks? So
exactly.
All right. Well, that's it. Big board. Under wraps. Let's break it down real quick.
Wait for it to load here. All right, there we go.
Kenny, you're all throwing out the real sleepers. Someone from the University of Delaware. Is that what it is? Marcus.
The Blue Hens?
All right. I'm going to remember that for next time. All right. So your team, you're definitely hoping for the CJ Stroud bounce back. I love the value. Again, we talked about that a lot. Sanders, we'll see where he goes.
Look at that QB room. That is. Whew, they don't even have, my QBs don't even have pictures.
Just give him a few weeks. Officially, your boy Brady Cook. So you got to feel good about that. No, but honestly, you think Stroud, Sanders, wherever Sanders goes, could do it?
We'll see. I do think. I mean, it's interesting to me that Stroud has gone from a top 5 QB pick to just basically being left for dead. I still think he can be a QB1, a weekly QB1.
Yeah, I think so. All right, running back. It's Bijan and Brees, and then a lot of no picture guys.
A lot of no picture guys, but let's hope at least one or two of them land in a halfway decent spot. Because again, Bijan and Brees, I mean, they were my first 2 picks, so they better carry me all year.
Yeah, no, I mean, I do feel also Brees is going to be a little bit undervalued this year, because Jets being the Jets, I'm counting on a bounce back. So I like that. I like that strategy. What do we call that? It's not it's not hyper fragile or really semi fragile, but when like it's not about the quantity of running backs because you have a lot of running backs, but it's like I got my two guys and then I'm waiting. Like, what we need a name for this. What do we call this?
I call that a robust running back.
Okay,
When you
I know some
take
people call it
two-
like double hero RB or double anchor. That's not a cool name. We need something better.
all right, yeah, double hero, double anchor, whatever. I don't know. All these names. Everything's got to have a name these days.
Yeah, we need a name. We need to think of something. We need to coin something. We need to make T-shirts. We need to put it on the stem there. All right, we'll think of something. Wide receiver JSN as the wide receiver one on your squad. JMO Olave. Odd to see. I don't know. It's still weird for me to see JMO in the 40s as the number two. You know, like those guys flipped. You know what I mean? And then Jaden Reed up way down there. Feels weird.
This is the problem when you go RB, or if you take two RBs in the first 3 rounds, you get to this range here where the wide receivers on the board, they don't make you feel warm and fuzzy when you take them.
No, but you have. I just think to me again. I guess we're still transitioning towards 2025, but can you imagine last year doing this and thinking, okay, I got Michael Pittman as my wide receiver 7, Cooper Kupp is my wide receiver 6. You know, Jaden Reed was going way too high last year. You got him as your wide receiver 5. It's just it looks backwards, but you got good value.
Yeah, I mean, again, I just need a few of these guys to pop off every week. They don't have to be the same guys every week.
Right. All
We'll
right.
see.
I mean, there you go. And then tight end, you waited, got Kraft, Berg, and Muth, another 3-headed monster. Totally fine. Good strategy.
Yep. All right.
Now I did
something you did here.
A little different. I didn't go in saying I'm going to do 0 RB, but I did 0 RB. Okay, so if I have Hurts, my backup is just a guy, McCarthy.
Yep.
I'm fine with that. I mean, do you feel like you need a third QB if you got Hurts?
No, definitely not. Definitely not.
All right.
Oh, wow. You really waited
back.
on running back.
I did wait on running back. I waited quite a bit on running back. Okay.
All right. So we went full 0 RB here.
0 RB room. Do you Mr. 0 RB, do you approve of this RB room?
I mean, for going 0 RB, it's not bad. Obviously, the ceilings aren't super high with these guys. Like Pollard, Najee, Bigsby, Dowdle. Like, these guys are fine. But what are you going to do when you go 0 RB? The ceiling should be with your wide receivers.
Yeah, it better be. So again, free agency hasn't started yet. What I'm banking on is not all necessarily, but at least 1 or 2 of like Najee landing with a team like, I don't know, the Raiders and becoming a workhorse. Rico Dowdle maybe staying in Dallas and they don't draft anybody because Jerry Jones doesn't really care about winning anymore. And then, Rico Dowdle is the workhorse, or he goes somewhere that he's used, or Tank Bigsby is the workhorse. So, 1 or 2 of these guys are pretty reliable weekly assets. And of course, either Kendra Miller or Marshawn Lloyd actually plays a game this year.
We'll see. Maybe between the 2 of them, you can get 1 game.
Well, there you go. Just one touchdown. Is there enough ceiling with this wide receiver room?
Well, that's the question. I mean, CeeDee Lamb, A.J. Brown, Mike Evans, Rashee Rice, Jenny. I mean, certainly there's even Tillman. I mean, we saw Tillman last year. Even Tez Johnson, I think, could be a ceiling guy. So yeah, I definitely think so. If Tillman, if they take, Shedeur or Cam Ward, if whatever happens with the Titans, if they don't go QB, or if they sign somebody like, Russ, I think he's good enough to support Tillman to have some spike weeks for sure. And you got him at pick 175. What a value there.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, with those receivers, those first 3, I really, hopefully not needing him too much, but there he is. So, yeah, Rice is the one. I always wonder, is this a good value or is this too soon?
Rice will be interesting because, there's always talk the Chiefs are going to do something big at wide receiver. They rarely do, but if there's going to be a year they're going to do something big at wide receiver, it's going to be this year after what happened in the Super Bowl where they had
DK?
nobody. Yeah, DK. I mean, everybody's gonna say that. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
All right. And then I feel like this is when I go back and check my exposure, I don't know. I feel like I've drafted Hawkinson a few times because I don't have to take him too early, but he still has, to me, a pretty high ceiling coming off of injury, right? He wasn't really right last year, but I don't know.
Right.
Are you sold on Hawk?
I'm fine. I mean, I'm fine with you. Did a 3 tight end build. I'm fine. I like Loveland and Ingram. He stays in Jacksonville. I think that's good. If he gets traded, obviously it'll depend where he goes, and that could hurt his value. We'll see. But it's a 3 tight end build. You just got to You just need a tight end 1 week. One of these guys give you a tight end 1 week every week.
Yeah. And exactly. I got a third tight end. I feel like Ingram, that could be a great value. We'll see. Ben, give me the stamp of approval for the Rice pick. Great pick in best ball. All right. Well, that makes me feel better.
My biggest worry with Rice is coming off a major knee injury, and how will that affect them? Not just the start of the season, but all season long. But we'll see.
We'll see. I'm very, very excited to see what changes in the next week, 2 weeks after
Monday.
Monday
is the day that teams. It's not the official start of free agency, but it's when teams can officially. I guess when they can unofficially commit, right? They can say we're signing so and so for X amount of dollars, and then on Wednesday, I think, is the day they can actually sign them. But Monday is when they can start negotiating. So I'm ready. I'm excited. Let's see what happens.
They could start confessing all the tampering that they've been doing the last 2 months.
Exactly. It's like, all right, the league window starts now. We're signing so and so to that. Like, wait, what? How'd you already do that?
Exactly. Within seconds, the deal is in place.
Yeah,
you know how it goes.
Yeah, exactly.
It's gonna be fun. So we'll do another one of these. We'll see how the ADP has shifted and changed. How we feel about this team and our other teams. If you haven't tried this, if you aren't like Ben, if you haven't maxed these out yet, if you haven't even tried this yet, get an underdog. Use code ENDGAME if you're signing up for the very first time, because that gets you some free cash, bonus cash up to $1,000 worth on your first deposit. So you can play with free money for your first, I don't know how many drafts, depending on how much you put in there, and some picks. And you get a free pick. And you don't have to wait for the NFL season. You can use your picks on NBA, which is going on, Major League Baseball, just a couple of weeks away from starting. Any sport you want. They got so many options. And also, you can do the big board. The little board is only $3 to get in. They also have bigger tournaments, all sorts of options. So if you haven't tried Underdog, check it out now. Just use code ENDGAME at checkout to get you all those free goodies. All right, and we've been breaking down all the news, the combine, the Deebo Samuel move. Chris got that all for you. If you haven't seen it yet, go check those videos out. And we got more coming up, so hang with us. Turn on the notifications so you know as soon as we do a live draft or a live stream of any sort or video drops. All right, guys, appreciate you. We'll see you on the next one.